Okay, just noticed something. This background is very white and plain, and I am not very plain. Well, at least you'd notice me better that way. Hi everyone, it's Candid, and I thought that this kind of video could be interesting because it seems that a lot of people are interested in this kind of videos. As you may or may not know, my actual name is Yesten. It's written that way. Candid is not my name, it's my username. So in this video I'm going to explain how I picked that name, so that both people who are curious about knowing how I did it and people who want to pick a new name can know how I did it. I started with a dead name, but I'm not gonna reveal. Some people know it already, but I'm not gonna reveal it to people who don't. When I found out that I was trans, at first I thought that I was gender fluid, so I was looking for a name that was both a man's name but also a non-binary name. So I wanted a gender neutral name, kinda. A gender neutral name that would feel fitting for men, which sounds a little bit absurd because most of the time gender neutral names are fitting for everyone, pretty much. But at the time what I did is that I took my dead name and I changed it a little bit, like a tiny bit, so that it's easy for people to adapt to it. And also I kept the same initials in order for me not to feel dysphoric or wrong when I wrote my old initials. But yeah, basically I kept the same letter at the beginning of both names. And I used both my dead name and my other dead name, like my woman's dead name and my other dead name. They started the same way, they sounded very similar. All the consonants were the exact same, but the vowels were different. The thing is, it was spelled in a way that made it very difficult for French people to pronounce it. French people were able to pronounce it, it was meant to be suitable for French people to pronounce it. But let's say it was not spelled the way French people would spell it. So it started to make me feel a little bit uncomfortable to hear people not pronounce my name properly. So I changed it. Basically, that's how I started to spell my name that way, Yesten. But at the name I didn't know if I wanted people to call me Yesten or even Yesten, Yesten. I didn't really have a fixed pronunciation for my name. Yesten felt more masculine, Yesten felt more gender neutral, and at the time I was like, it will feel weird if I just navigate the world looking like a girl, not passing at all, and if people hear me with a man's name. But at the same time I wanted a man's name. So sometimes I would introduce myself as Yesten, sometimes as Yesten, sometimes I would say Yesten, Yesten. I could not choose a pronunciation for my name. But well, people most of the time called me either Yesten or Yesten. And in fact I noticed that it didn't matter if I pronounced my name Yesten or Yesten. In both cases people were not surprised to hear me with such a name. They would just be like, oh, that's a beautiful name, where are you from? Are you Russian? Are you Slavic? People would compliment me on my name all the time, and it didn't matter how it was pronounced. So it started to feel less and less weird to call myself Yesten, since even when I called myself in that more masculine way, people were not shocked or they were not like, huh, you're trans, right? People just assume that it's not a French name and that I have origins in weird places, which is not wrong. I technically have origins in weird places in Europe, including in Slavic countries. But also, as you noticed, Yesten is not a name that actually exists. I mean, when I Google it, I find random people who seem to be Indians, but I'm not Indian. I'm not even sure if that's an actual name or just a nickname in India. That's not a name that I was aware of, and I kind of created it. And it's for a reason. It's because if I create a name, this name will be mine. I won't associate this name with other people. I will just be myself, and I won't have the pressure to be the perfect Yesten to fit with other Yestens. I don't mind if other people want to call themselves Yesten, though. It's just I created it so that I didn't associate it with, for example, I don't know, Karens or Kevins. You know, there's the Karen stereotype. In France we have the Kevin stereotype, and there are stereotypes for pretty much not all names but a lot of names, so I wanted to not to be associated with any stereotype, so I created my name. And another reason why I created this name is that if I create it, it's truly gender neutral and people won't associate it with women or men or even non-binary people. They're gonna be like, I don't know this name. It actually ends like a masculine name more than a feminine one. You may be wondering about my other name or other names. When I was born, I was given 4 names, so I'm trying to have 4 masculine names, masculine or gender neutral. The thing is, I didn't pick my last 2 names, and when it comes to my second name, like the name that is not Yesten, but the name that comes after that, I'm not quite sure yet, but I still started to search for one, so I'm gonna explain maybe a little bit if you're curious. So what I did at first is that I went on, baby names websites. I searched for both masculine and gender neutral names. I just love gender neutral names, they sound really cool. I found a lot of really cute names. There's this name Lucie that is a feminine name in French that is not part of my dead names, and it sounds really cute, so I wanted to look for something very similar. When I saw Lucifer pronounced Lucifer in French, I was like, oh, that's a beautiful name, but the thing is it's a satanic name. I know that it means the bringer of light, it's a beautiful meaning, but it's a satanic name. And so I was like, no, I'm not gonna call myself Lucifer, even if it's a very beautiful name. So then I looked for other names, and there's a thing in my family, it's that pretty much everyone has a name that starts with an A. Before I was born, my dad and my mom agreed to call me Axel at first, which is a gender neutral name, so it's a shame that I didn't have that. I ended up having another name, as my dad's name is Alex, so Alex Axel. It's too close. But anyways, many people in my family have a name that starts with an A. So I was looking for a name that starts with an A. I came across a lot of really cute names. I said that I liked the name Lucy for girls. I also like the name Alice. It's really cute, but it's also a girl's name. So I looked for similar sounding names. I found Alistair, which is a gender neutral name. But I mean, it's kind of part of the typical French non-binary names. Like in English you have Kai, Alex, same. And names like that in French you have stuff like Océan, Alistair, Alex. But well, I didn't really care about that. I just thought it was a really cute name. At first that's what I thought, but the association with the stereotype of a French non-binary person was too much for me. Like I was like, once again I'm gonna get associated with a group of people. And the same way I'm not a Satanist, and not even culturally Satanist, I am not non-binary. So I'm not gonna have this name because it gives me a little bit of dysphoria actually. I also wanted to call myself Aster because it's beautiful both in English and in French. In French it's Aster and in English it's Aster. I liked the double meaning, it was both a flower, so I'm becoming myself like a flower that grows and petals. And the other meaning was basically like the stars and stuff like that, and I was like, I like the stars. But I found a famous trans guy who was named Aster on Instagram, and I started to associate it with him, and I was like, I don't want to seem like such a fanboy that I pick his name, so I'm gonna pick another name that is not the name of someone I know. I came across Asphodel, probably pronounced something like Asphodel in English. I don't really know its English pronunciation. In French, it will be pronounced Asphodel. I don't remember if it's a gender neutral or a men's name. I think it's another gender neutral name. How did I thought about this name? Well, in the fanboy culture, there are some famous anime characters. One of them is called Asphalto. I don't know how you pronounce it in English, but like in Japanese, it's probably something like Asufoluto. Well, I found out he was apparently meant to be both French and English, but I found that out after thinking about Asphodel. I am French and my mom was born in Britain. Yes, she's transphobic. Anyways, now let's come back to Asphodel. Basically, yes, I thought Asphalto was cute, but it was the name of this fanboy, so it was associated with him. But it started with an A, so I was like, I have motivation to find a new name that starts with an A. So I searched for names that start with an A, and I found Asphodel, and it's really cute, and it's also very close to Asphalto, but it's not Asphalto, so it's like, it's a fanboy name, but it's not his name, so it's different, and I really like it, Asphodel. So I think I'm gonna have Yesten, Asphodel, and then 2 other names. Oh yeah, something else I forgot to mention. One of the reasons why I didn't pick Aster as first was because it has 2 syllables, and so does Yesten. So I wanted a name that was either shorter or longer, so that it's not like Yesten Aster, because I just think it sounds better if the first name and the second name don't have the same number of syllables. I don't have anything against names with just 1 syllable, but it doesn't feel like me. So I wanted a name with at least 3 syllables. And Asphodel fitted this definition. So yeah, as of now, I am Yesten, Asphodel, something, something. I explained to you guys, or y'all, maybe more like y'all, and I explained to y'all how to pick names. You can pick names in other ways too, but I mean, it's just how I did it, and if you want to do it in a similar way, you know, you can just... I'm not forcing you to do anything, like, just pick your names the way you want to pick your names. But if I helped some people, then I think it's great. I'm happy. Anyways, this is the end of this video. I hope you liked it, and see you for another video.